Welcome back, fans. It is now time for us to go over the control points and how you take control of nations in Terra Invicta in this pseudo tutorial let's play. So, like I said in my last episode, we're going to go ahead and let this play out. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up here. And as the basically the day goes on, you're going to allow, we're going to start to get some basically starting events that will shape how you play the rest of the game. So this is something where you can either do basically the UN Security Council meets, and now's your chance to come out if you want to and talk about who the resistance is. So you can either quietly steer resistance, which is going to grant a small public opinion boost for the resistance around the world, and also information about the resistance will be exposed to our enemies, or we deliver our manifesto, which grants a public opinion boost and a great deal of information about the resistance to be exposed to our enemies. I'm okay with that because we'll be able to deal with it. So let's go ahead and take this for the 50, I repeat, 50 influence. So it's going to be quite a bit of influence.
They are not life forms or xenosapiens. They are demons incarnate. They and the traitors who support them will face our judgment.
So we're starting to learn of the other factions in this game. First is the Humanity First group, and they're not so different than we are. Of course, they probably are a little bit more xenophobic, and they are definitely a little more gung-ho about the whole thing, but they have a similar goal in mind, right? They actually just want to kill them all. They want to kill the aliens.
It has always been true that we must leave the cradle if our species is to survive. If these aliens are indeed hostile, the time to go is now.
And as the name suggests, Project Exodus is a group of people who want to leave. They want to just get the hell out of here. So,
public opinion is moving in our direction.
All right, great. So we're now increasing our public opinion here in Italy, which is a goal we had because, right, we're going to try to take Italy. And then here we have another small little kick, right? So we can either focus on having more lobbyists and influencers, which is going to increase our influence. We have scientists and engineers that are, of course, going to increase our monthly research income. Officers and operators increasing our ops income, and then financiers and investors increasing our money. I'm going to go ahead with scientists and engineers, although occasionally, most of the time, I go with the influencers, but I'm going to go with the scientists and engineers this time. All right. Enemy counselor detected. Operators within resistance have detected someone in the Juba region of South Sudan, acting as basically a counselor for a rival faction. So great, we've gained a control point in Spain. We've gained 2 control points in Spain. Alright, so the growing realization that we are not the sole sapient species in the universe is causing many to see their fellow humans in a new light, leading to hopes that we can overcome our capacity for strife to address the alien arrival as one people. Is that going to be the case? I don't know. I do not know. However, what I do know is now we have 2 control points for Spain, which is important, right? So I told you about the priorities here, right? So now we actually have the ability to manipulate 2 of the priorities. We can... There's a whole bunch of things, right? So we can start to focus on the economy, which is going to help this country develop itself. And also, welfare and knowledge are also going to do something similar to that too, right? So welfare is going to increase the amount of money that we produce. Knowledge is, of course, going to increase the amount of science that we produce. And this is all based on the monthly investment points. So this is how many monthly investment points that Spain has. It's going to be increasing too. And it's all basically divvied up into any of these categories. Unity, of course, is the idea that we're going to bring the people together. And then military, of course, is going to be about getting your military tech up and, hopefully, eventually get, basically military tech is based on your levels. And when you go into war and combat, the military tech of your particular army or your particular country that you're either being attacked from or attacked in, I should say, is going to be affected by the military tech. So we get to 3, we're going to increase our military tech. Spoils is a big thing here. So we can actually take everything, a lot. We can start to sap basically what we can from this country to our own faction. If we increase the spoils, we're going to basically like embezzle things as they are produced here in Spain to go to the resistance. That's something you want to consider. It's not great. It actually reduces the overall like condition of the country, but sometimes you need the money. So that's something you want to consider. Funding, of course, is going to be for the money production each year, the spaceflight program. This is something that's actually really close here, right? So Spain is going to be very close to producing a spaceflight program, which will then in turn allow for boost production. So that's why I think Spain's a good starting point, because you're very close to having a spaceflight program, and with just a little bit of, leaving it just as it is really, you're going to have a spaceflight program pretty quickly. Mission control, which is something that I was talking about. This is how many, I don't think I talked too much about this before. But mission control is the amount of basically like space anythings that we can have, right? So it couldn't be, space habs, spaceships. The more of those that we have, the more that we need of mission control. So we can start to allocate more funds and time and money into those as well. Build army. So if we want to build an army, of course we can start to put more money into this. And of course, if we want nuclear weapons, we can start putting in that. Nuclear weapons are not something. Oh, we are allowed to put some. For some reason, I thought you couldn't, but we're actually going to instead come here and take these off. So for the most part, we're going to actually, we'll put some in here as well. I know it's divvying things up a little bit too much right now. I think mission control we can drop to 2 on both of these. Spaceflight program we're definitely going to leave here because we want to get that boost going. But this is where we start to really, get down into the numbers, right? When we want to really set the goals for each of these countries that we're going to be controlling. It shows here the different regions. And then another thing that I hadn't talked about yet is that there's, in each of these countries, there's an executive control point. And whoever owns the executive control point owns the country, basically. Has the ability to set the policy for that country, meaning like they can change who their allies are and who their rivals are, and they can change their military tactics and all that stuff. So whoever owns this particular control point, and it's always the far right control point, so it's always the last control point, whoever owns that owns the country itself. And it's always the person, the faction has to have had at least one other control point in order to get the executive control point.
Ready for my mission.
Alright, so we're going to send him over here, and we're going to start to increase public opinion here because we want to take France.
We'll
So
make
France
our
will be our next, after we get
Where
to
to?
Spain here, we're gonna go ahead and set Spain to control nation. And we have 63, so you know what we'll do first is we're going to go ahead and take another counselor. So we're going to go ahead and look at, see what our counselors look like. The evangelist looks like a decent one, so let's look at Yevgenia. So, oh, that's not a name of her. She's a Russian, that's all I can say. Alright, so she has control nation, crackdown, public campaign. These are good, so these are actually really good missions that she's capable of. She has 0 espionage. I want to find maybe somebody with some espionage. Maybe is there anybody that's got some espionage? David Brown here. He's also English, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that someone from Great Britain or United Kingdom in this case has a greater influence on the United Kingdom. And I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, looks like he's eminent, so he's going to actually increase our influence. He's a quick learner, so it's going to take less XP to level him up. And he's also a crew, so he gains in security. He's actually going to be a great addition to our group here. So we're going to go ahead and take him. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and we've come back here. We're going to, I said control, wait, do we? Yeah, let's go ahead. And I'm wondering if we don't try to go ahead and start trying to control France. We're not going to have much in the way of influence. No, we're not going to be able to do much here. So what we'll do is we'll come back to Spain and see if we can control Spain with very little influence. There we go.
Establishing our presence.
Ready.
We'll do the same here. We'll try.
Putting our people in place.
And now we've got
Reporting in.
David Brown. All right. We're going to go ahead and let him. Oh, so he also has Inspire, which improves the loyalty of another counselor, which helps them become better. But here we can come in. We can do more public campaigning here in France.
Making our
Here we go.
case.
So we'll go ahead and confirm
Every
those assignments.
circumstance is an opportunity. Our test is to recognize and seize it.
So the initiative is basically just like the shadowy cabal, right? That looks to basically take advantage of everything that's going on right now and believes that the whole thing is a farce. Kind of sounds realistic, right? They don't believe that the aliens actually exist and
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
that it's basically
Our
just like
case
a
remains unheard.
means to control. Alright, agents of resistance have possibly identified a counselor from Humanity First in the Georgetown region of Ghana.
We are taking over.
Great, so now we actually have Spain.
Mission is a
completely.
no-go.
Yeah. So now that we have Spain completely, we are in complete control, right? So we can do whatever we want with this country. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and again I'm gonna allocate a little bit more to building an army, and maybe we do a little bit more for the welfare here too. I'm going to drop mission control just a little bit, and that should be it for now. We're going to leave the rest as is for this particular region for the time being. We can always come back and change this, right? If we really wanted to get the spaceflight program going, well, right now it's being allocated as much as we could. We could start to take away from some of the other things to make sure that the spaceflight program has more of the budgeted funding headed that way, but we're not going to do that for now. Now we have control over this country, though. So the great thing is that there would have to be someone who purge us out of here to get any control points here, which is actually pretty difficult at first, especially when we have full control over the country. So we'll come over here, and what we're going to start to do too, we have an investigate alien activity that we should go and check out.
We'll see what we can find.
So that crash that was over here, now he's going to go check it out. All right, that's something I should have done before, honestly. And we're going to continue to try to increase public opinion here. The great thing is now we're going to have a bigger chunk of this pie here because we have control over Spain and it borders France, and so our public opinion from France is going to be higher. As you can see, it's actually increasing. So we're going to continue to improve our public relations here. Here we're going to, let's see what we can do here. We don't have much in the way of control. I'm sorry, influence. So we're going to go ahead and try to control without using any influence for now. It's a very small chance that we can do this, but we're going to go ahead and try it anyways.
Bringing them to our side.
We also want to keep an eye on this, right? We want to keep an eye on our cap because we're going to start to take more control points from France. We want to make sure that we're not overdoing our cap here. So looks like we have a decent public opinion here. There's a lot of undecided, right? And that's something that we want to take into consideration as well. Here with the control of France, we would have the army here, which would be great. And then we'd want to probably move into, it looks like they're already trying to take the United Kingdom here. Maybe with the next turn, I try to take at least one control point there so I would be able to get this executive spot here.
Public opinion remains unmoved.
Well, that's unfortunate. I should probably invest a little bit more money into that.
Recon complete.
Alright, great. So we receive a small bonus to our xenology research going forward. We're also going to gain 20 influence and 20 science, which is great. So when it becomes available, complete the Alien Signatures project. So we are now able to undertake the Alien Signatures project, fulfills objective research alien signatures, allows faction to detect alien abductions on Earth. So that's part of something that we can do down here now. We could change the project to Alien Signatures. We're not going to just yet because I want to finish what we've got. We're close to finishing that, and we'll gain some influence that way. That way we can continue
We were unable to establish control.
Yeah, like I figured, we're not going to try.
We were unable to establish control.
I get it. It's all good. All right, so were they able to take them? Nope, they weren't.
Ready for orders.
So you can come back here and try to control the United Kingdom. Your old friends there in the United Kingdom. We'll use 4. Actually, we'll try 8. That's a third of a
Bringing them
chance.
to our side.
What's the op?
And we're going to try again with France, maybe with 8. That'll be enough.
We'll be running this place in no time.
At your service.
And again, we're going to try a little bit. Try 8. That's going to be a 75% chance.
Establishing our presence.
What's the op?
And we'll come over here and we'll try to increase our public opinion here. Not much money, so 56% chance. What about here? 65% chance. We'll go ahead and invest 10. We're running out of money. Money is kind of
Making
drying
our
up a little bit
case.
here. And then once that's complete, hopefully we get control, at least one control point here. Alright, great. We've gained the influence that we were trying to gain from this research. Now we're going to take on alien signatures, so we can now detect alien abductions on Earth. And we have 3.79 research coming in a day. And what that means now is we can start to maybe, we can come down to maybe 2 here. And, or even just leave it at 3. And then figure out where we want to go with this. So sociologists consider what the alien arrival means for human institutions. We can look to the tech tree and see what We Are Not Alone leads us to. So We Are Not Alone leads to augmented reality, biotechnology, arrival sociology, stuff like that. Terrestrial military science, which of course is fun. And then the Skywatch in progress leads to Deep System Skywatch, then leads to Mission to the Asteroids. So what do we want to do? We want a mission to space in progress. I think this is where we want to put in our time. So we're going to come back to that screen and we're going to mission to space here. We're going to add a little bit more to there. So now we've divided our total research between these two, with 1.4 a day being contributed to this, and then 2 and 2, or basically 2.2 a day being added to this alien signatures project that we're working on.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
God, you really don't like this guy, do you? The public support's not waning at all, or not increasing, I
Our
should say.
supporters are in place.
Very good. So we have 1
Our
spot.
presence is
We
growing.
have 2 spots now with France.
We
Very
were
good.
unable to establish control.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna be a long shot. It looks like Berlin is being taken by the Project Exodus guys. So here we go. We're gonna continue. We're gonna actually take our public campaign, and we're gonna spend some money up here.
I will try to sway the public.
Ready for my mission.
We're gonna try to control them here with just a little bit. 8 is gonna be, yeah, just enough to give
We'll
us a
bring this
50-50
nation to our
chance.
side.
Ready to go.
And 8's gonna give us a 50% chance.
Bringing
Oh,
them to
I didn't mean to
our
do that.
side.
That was the United Kingdom.
What's the op?
Oh well, we'll see how it goes. 8 will bring us a 75% chance of taking this one here.
We'll bring this nation to our side.
And what we can also do is, again, now that we have the opportunity to control some of what's going on in France, take a look to see what would be ideal for us. I do think building an army is important, right? I mean, they've got an army already, but I want to have that ready to go in case war breaks out. And that's something that we'll talk about as we progress through this Let's Play, because war will break out. It's almost inevitable. I have played too many games for it not to. I mean, it almost never... There's always war. Let's put it that way. Looks like even now, it looks like there's some movement with armies here. And of course, there's, the Russian armies that were in the Ukraine.
Our only hope is to understand what the aliens want with us and determine how to satisfy them without losing our independence.
So basically, the Protectorate wants to find a way to be at peace with the aliens, right? Like, they think that there's no way that they can oppose them, and they want to find a way to, coexist. Good luck with that. figure out terms with which way they can coexist on. So we may now appoint our faction's chief advisors. We can focus on economic development, which is going to increase our economic priority by 10%. We can hire some steely-eyed missile men and women, which gives us spaceflight programs and boost priority. Call in the generals, which is going to give us military and army priority, and then emphasize international aid, which is going to give us welfare and knowledge priority. I think this is important, spaceflight program and boost, so I'm going to go ahead and take that for this time. I mean, it really depends on who you are and which country you're taking. If you were like Russia, you might want to do it with the military, because there's a lot of military things that go on with Russia. Project complete. We have completed the Alien Signatures project. There is no doubt extraterrestrial life has touched down on Earth. The many questions we have regarding its origin, its species, and its intent will have to wait. All that matters now is finding it. By cross-referencing reports of unusual events in the vicinity of the landing site with similar data from our global intelligence network, we have developed a tracking system able to reliably identify disappearances most likely resulting from alien activity. So now we know when people are getting abducted. Alright, so conduct surveil missions in regions near any alien crash sites, and that way we can tell if abductions have occurred. And then new objective: research alien origin, research the Skywatch and Deep System Skywatch global technologies, and then the Alien Origin project when it becomes available. And then last, we have salvage alien technology, successfully engage one of the following alien assets. We haven't done any of that yet. We're not close to that, so don't worry about that. Let's go ahead and select a new project so we can actually take some ops points, which we don't really need right now. We haven't been doing too much in the way of ops. This provides a small bonus to our capacity to manage control points without paying an influence maintenance cost, so we can add to our control points here. Here's the commercial research where we can add to our coffers. We've got quite a bit now. And audience, of course, which we will always need. So we're going to need it for now. We're going to go ahead and do that again. But we're going to reduce it to 2 now. And that way we have 2.648 going to the mission to space. All right, and we'll continue on.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
There we go. Our counselor's been spotted. Sometimes if the counselors are spotted, other counselors from other factions will do their best to kind of counteract what your counselors are working on, or even detain them later on.
We failed to take control.
All right, so we didn't get that control point.
Our
Oh,
supporters are in place.
We're taking over.
It looks like the Academy took the last 2 spots here. So we have control of it, but that's only because... Oh, no, we don't. Oh, no. All right, so this is a great opportunity to try to purge them. So we don't have the influence to purge them right now, unfortunately. So they are more like highly thought of than we are. Man, all of that effort just to have the Academy come in and take it from us at the last minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to instead, maybe we coup d'etat and reset its control points. Very small chance it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. We're not going to do that. We can defend our interests, which is probably a good idea considering that the other 2 they're probably going to try to purge us a bit here. So we're going to go ahead and defend interests here.
Making things safe for our people.
And
Acknowledged.
then we're going to come back over here and try to increase our public opinion over here.
I will tell our story.
Ready to go.
Here we go. We're going to control nation. We're going to probably finish this off. Hopefully we can... Oh, look. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Coming over here. Okay, we do have control of the United Kingdom. That's a good thing. All right, so I didn't notice that. I must have missed that. So we have the United Kingdom, which means we could try to purge. We don't have purge here with this guy, but we do have inspire. So we can inspire the loyalty of another counselor. I don't know how our counselors look right now, but we probably have the ability to augment them. We don't yet. We usually need about 20. There we go. So looks like apparent loyalty is 4 for her, 5 for him. So definitely something we could try to do is inspire them to be a little bit more loyal to us. So we'll inspire, use a little bit of influence, inspire him.
I'll speak with them.
And you
Ready for my mission.
can actually defend our interests here.
Securing our interests.
All right, with that, because the problem is,
Securing our control.
yep, we've got control.
Securing our interests.
Now it's much
I
more
believe
difficult.
they'll stay loyal to the cause.
Very good, and we've
The
inspired him
Surah
too.
Al-Baqarah teaches that in the creation of heaven and earth, a wise people may find the signs of Allah. Let us heed those words and join together as we take our search into the stars. Director Khalid al-Ashgar from his khutbah at the first conclave of Muslim astrophysicists.
So once you that was one of the humanity research topics that I talked about in the last episode. So we've completed this, right? And that was a result of us contributing and everybody else contributing. Looks like someone else contributed the most, which was, I don't remember who that was. I should have read it. But somebody else did the most, so they were able to now to choose the next tech tree, next tech that we're going to focus on. So as you can see, our research is continuing to improve. So with our addition of Great Britain, we're now gaining more of the research capabilities that we have. So let's do this. See how they actually have their own focuses? Let's see. Using resist priorities template. Alright, I didn't realize that there was templates. There is, holy crap. Okay. And that means welfare is low? Increases inequality by mitigates global environmental hazard by reducing greenhouse gases in the atmosphere towards safer levels. Huh, I feel like we should put a little bit into that. Especially since there is, I guess it's an issue here. Spoils, of course, we're not taking too much. Military, that's something that we're going to invest in here. And I do want to take, on our next turn, I want to try to purge. Actually, I'm going to try to purge from here. It's going to be difficult, for sure. We have increased our public opinion, which is also great.
The trick is not to look directly at what you're trying to see. Offset your focal point somewhere to the side of where you think you noticed a movement. At night, the center of your vision doesn't work as well as during the day. I won't try to explain the science to you. What matters is you'll see whatever is out there before they see you. Colonel Hans Castillo, advising conscripts in Colombia.
Great, so the Academy took this, so they're going to have the opportunity to choose the next research topic. And of course, the Academy is very focused on research, so it's generally something that, like, if you want to start fighting the Academy on, it can be difficult. So something I forgot to mention in any of the videos here is that we have this, like, event log here. So all this, everything that's going on is also logged in down here. So there's things that, like, it's like this one in particular, like a large typhoon has struck the Bangkok region in Thailand, that doesn't come up. It's not a pop-up. So it is wise to occasionally check this. I don't watch it as much because the things that are really important to me are popped up. But these will also tell you some of the things that are going on, like, you know, naturally and geopolitically, that you'd want to keep an eye on. All right, with that, we're going to take
Ready.
her, no,
Reporting
yeah,
in.
her, there we go, and see if we can purge. All right, so why is this so difficult? Size of national economy, difference in ideology, defend interests. Defend interests is why it's so hard right now. So even with all the influence, it's going to be extraordinarily difficult. So we have control in larger allies and federation, but it's not going to be enough to get them. So what we can do is try to come over here and take Germany. We can't take Germany because we weren't able to get any of the spots there. So that's definitely going to be a Project Exodus spot. We can try to come over here and try to control Amsterdam. So we'll control them.
Bringing them on board.
Ready to go.
Looks like we won't be able to do that either, but we can try to come to the Alpine States here and control the Alpine States.
Putting our people in place.
And then
At
here,
your service.
we're going to stabilize the nation here. Actually, we're not going to do that at all. we're going to continue to increase our public opinion. So our public opinion is actually really low in the Alpine States. So we're going to come over here and try to boost it.
I will try to sway the public.
Where do you need me?
And then lastly, we'll try to control Alpine States with nothing invested other than
Putting our
just
people in place.
throwing the guy over there. So we'll try to confirm that. And we continue. So what's going to happen between this episode and next is that I'm going to do probably about 30 minutes, 20 minutes
The
of
people will come to our side.
doing this, of trying to get more people, more of these countries under my influence, right? So right now I have Spain.
We've got our people in place.
Excellent. So I've taken
We've
one
got
in
our people
Amsterdam.
in place.
I've also got one in the Alpine States now.
We still lack support.
Oh, great. So there's a UFO that's crashed on Earth. We'll go ahead and investigate that. And then once we do that, we're also going to investigate the area afterwards, because
Standing
we're
by.
now going to be keeping an eye on abductions. So we're going to go and investigate alien activity.
We'll recon the site.
Your orders?
We're going to try to control the Alpine States further.
Establishing our presence.
And we'll come over
I'm here.
here now and try to finish off Amsterdam. So 4 is going to put
Bringing
us
them
pretty
on
high.
board.
And then we'll do an
Standing
additional
by.
4.
Taking control.
Hopefully that'll be enough to take
They are
those
here
two.
to cleanse our sick world. The aliens are our saviors, and all who oppose them are enemies of the future.
Yeah, so of course the servants want more of the aliens. They want to like basically become their
The dreamer
slaves.
in me wants to believe it would bring a golden age of advancement and prosperity for all mankind. But I'm a realist. I know better. Any race advanced enough to find us would be advanced enough to end us, likely without even regarding us.
So another humanity project has been completed, and we weren't the ones that contributed the most
Here's
here.
what we found.
Alright, so we've gained some xenology research.
Mission is a no-go.
We failed to take control.
Oh no. Seriously?
Mission abort.
We lost to the academy here. The academy is turning into a pain in the butt here. Let's see if we can try to purge them.
Targeting the opposition.
Very low chance.
Your
right?
orders.
We're going to now see if we have the ability to contact here. Contact and identify candidates for infection. I thought nope, we don't have the ability to surveil that area with that particular counselor. So we're going to come back and set public opinion here again. We're going to continue to increase our public opinion so that we can
We must
purge
persuade
these guys
the
out.
people.
I'm here.
And then investigate. Do we have investigate? I thought it was. Let's turn counselor. No, we don't have investigate with this guy either. So we will. Do we have the ability to maybe possibly control this nation a little bit? Yeah.
We'll be running this place in no time.
Ready.
And here, okay, we have surveil location. So we're gonna come back over here. Oh, I went a little bit too fast. My apologies. And I believe it was around here. So we're just gonna go ahead and surveil this location and see if we can find out if anybody's being abducted.
On Overwatch.
And then finally, looks like everybody's good to go. We're gonna try to purge. I think that's gonna not work, but we're gonna try it. And this will
We
be the final
believe we can join
turn.
them as brothers and sisters. If we only convince them we are worthy.
Surveilling target area.
Wow, that just dropped to 1%. That means that they
We've
were able
moved
to
the
do
needle.
a strengthen, like a defend interest mission before we could start. And it's now 0%.
Our presence is growing.
We have the
Our
Alpine
associates
States.
were unable to take control.
Alright, so with that, I don't think there's anything here. So we're just going to come back and try to work this situation up here. So we have the Alpine States now. Is it the best place? Probably not. You know, it has decent income here and decent science, but nothing compared to, like, you know, Spain or even France. France is our real goal, right? We really want France. So we're going to try to take France by, we have now, you know, we have enough to control. We've controlled the area around here. So we have this controlled, this controlled. So, you know, the three of the five neighboring countries are controlled by us, and we have decent public opinion in that area. So we're going to try to continue to improve our public opinion. So we're going to do that here. Just add some more here.
We must persuade the people.
Acknowledged.
And we're going to come down over here and try to... Well, let's see. What are we doing here? We have... This one looks like they're going to have that. Germany still isn't taken by Project Oxidus yet, but I'm sure they're going to. Let's go ahead and try to take Ireland. Oh, we can't because they've already got one control point. Yeah, so looks like a lot of Europe is already taken. Norway has decent science. Trying to figure out where we might want to consider focusing our efforts on now. Poland, Romania. We come through and we just try to look to see how many points they have, right? And also their science and income. Maybe Portugal. It's decent. So we'll try to control. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be pretty easy.
Establishing control.
And
Ready
then
for my mission.
we're not gonna be able to purge them since they did that one defend interest mission. And it looks like they still have defend interests here too. So we're gonna have to wait for that as well. We'll just go ahead and try to continue to raise our public opinion here.
We'll make our appeal.
And
Where do you need me?
you're going to increase your public opinion here in France.
We'll make our appeal.
And what I'll do is I'm going to pass off to the next episode, where again, like I said, I'm going to play forward a little bit, and then we'll come back to, you know, where the geopolitical landscape is going to be at that point. You know, we're going to do what I can to reach our maximum, continue to improve our foothold here in Europe, and try to purge out some of these other ones, and then hopefully get the ball rolling with some other parts of this game as we move into like the second phase, which is where we start to use boost and try to get platforms going and basically extra Earth, like, you know, moon landing stuff, that kind of stuff going. So yeah, so with that, I'll continue to play forward. We'll come back with episode 3, where hopefully things are shaping up pretty well for me, and if not, then I guess I have other problems. But if that goes well, I'll start to show you how we start to basically colonize outside of Earth and develop our foothold in space. Until then, this is Rob from eXplanation. Keep exploring.